Hello, happy Monday, happy new month. Feel like I haven't seen you all since last month. Think about it. The last time we catch up was in June. We are in July. Welcome back to Prayer for Marriages. I am yours truly, Evangelist Nikki McKenzie, with our mastermind, our visionary Evangelist Baker. Yes, we are together again just for y'all. I know it's a holiday week, and everyone already started holiday from Friday. Y'all doing a 4 day or 5 day weekend, but I'm glad that you guys are sharing your holiday with us. Yes, happy 4th of July when it comes tomorrow. Be careful with all that fireworks. Be careful. Be safe out there and enjoy your 4th of July. While we're here together, yes, we are on part 3. Yes, it is part 3. That's how you see, we are said the men, they don't have needs, they're very simple, but their needs are very detailed and strategic, right? So we're here to conclude part 3 and what does a spouse need from his wife. And you can, apply it across the board. But since it's Prayer for Marriages, this is our platform. So we're mostly speaking to the wives and what their husband and what we're hearing and what research are also saying in different surveys out there. What does a husband need from his wife? And understand the needs is set. The wants, like we explain over and over, it will change, right? But a man needs does not change. It remain constant. So they're speaking, but we want us all to listen. So I'm gonna let our evangelist kick it off because she have a whole platter of information to share with us today, and we're gonna tag team each other. Just delve in together and empower us as wives to empower us across the board. And don't just take this knowledge. I want y'all to apply it and share with us. Share with us your result. Share it what you have learned, and also talk to your spouse as well if you haven't had that time to ask them what their needs are. And just listen. Don't interrupt. Just listen. Don't try to, finish their sentence or anything like that. Give them that undivided attention and listen intentionally to understand. But these are the majority universal needs that we have across the board that we're being delving into for the past 3 weeks. And today is our conclusion. So I'm going to let our dear Evangelist Baker take it away from here. And I'll be here as well. We're going to both tag team each other, like I said before. Take it away, my dear.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hello. Happy Monday. Y'all know I'm always saying it seemed like we was just here yesterday, literally, because the weeks is flying by, and this is the new month. We haven't seen y'all like Evangelist say all month. So happy new month, happy 3rd of July. Happy 4th of July Eve, right? So we're gonna be talking today about things husband need from wives. As Evangelist said, listen, we express our needs, right? We express ourselves. I was looking at something today from relationship.com, and this is what it says. It says that that women, we are more vocal about what we want. We just chat. We just talk.
What? Give it away.
Right, you know what I mean? And men and women think differently. They behave differently and they want different things in a relationship. And that's why communication is so important especially in your marital relationship. Communication is essential, right? While women try to express themselves a lot, men reveal less. So if your hubby is not really revealing stuff, it's the you have to learn your hubby, learn his temperature, and know when you can get stuff out of him. Now they speak, but not very often. So if you have a husband that's vocal, I'm applauding you. You got a good one. Not that if he's not vocal, he's not good. But some men just don't talk. They just don't, right? They reveal less. So it becomes difficult now for us as women to impress our men, as we don't know what their likes and dislikes are, right? I saw a post the other day where a young lady asked her husband, what is one thing that he doesn't like about her? And when he told her, she got offended. Now, ladies, if we're gonna ask a question like that, be prepared for the answer. Don't ask questions that you really know, that you're saying, you know what, I'm just asking, but I really don't want to know the answer. So if you're gonna ask, they're going to respond. And when they respond, you can't become upset. or you shouldn't be upset because you asked, right? You asked the question and they're answering. So let's practice. If we're expressing ourselves and then it's their time to express themselves, allow them to, just like they allow us. Don't cut them off. Don't say, really? That's how you see me? They're expressing it. And then guess what? When we behave like that, Evangelist Nikki, it further proves their point, right?
Mhm.
It further proves their point. So we have to
Absolutely.
be very careful, right? And so even though we're sharing views on what they like, it's so much more. When I tell you, we could go 6 months into talking about these things and not cover everything that the men want and need in a relationship, right? Now, like I think I said this the first week, when we are aware of what our men want in a relationship, it helps us to understand our partner better and be considerate of their unspoken requests and desires. Listen, I'm telling you, once we understand our mate, understand who you're married to. Understand who your husband is. They've always been like that. If they were nonverbal, they always been nonverbal. Don't say, oh, all of a sudden, why you're not talking. We can pull stuff out of them. My husband was nonverbal, right? And you can't ask yes or no question. If you want a decent response, then you got to ask question that is going to allow them to think and allow them to address the questions that we ask for the response that we are looking for. Because we ask a question and we're looking for 100 response. I don't know about you, but I can just speak about me, right? So we need to understand what our spouse want, right? And so I'm gonna say this one. And this is one thing that I see a lot of women do and think that that's what their man want or that's what they need to do. Listen to this. I'm going to read it as it says in what I read in the research. Men don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be controlled. They don't. They don't. Stop trying to control your husband. That's a big way for him to completely shut down. Allow him to be him, right? No man likes to be manipulated. I'm not saying women want to be manipulated. Hear me and hear me, good ladies. Don't listen to me to be responding. Hear me. Men do not want to be controlled. They just don't. And truth be told, you don't want to be controlled. You don't want to be controlled. I don't want to control. I don't want no one controlling me. The Lord, I always say this, and I say it to my mother. I said, the Lord have a hard time controlling me, much less a human gonna try to control me. So you're fighting a losing battle. All right. So men do not want to be controlled. They don't like to be manipulated by their wives. They don't. Women, we often believe that we can change a man. Ladies, we cannot. And that's how we try to change them, to control them. It's important to give a man space to be with his friends. No, I'm not saying give him space to stay up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. No. Mm-mm. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. So I want y'all to hear me and hear me good, right? The men, they want an evening out. Just like you want some me time. I don't know any wife that's listening or will be listening that do not want me time. Whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, I don't know any wife don't want me time for themselves, and so do the husbands. Their me time may be go playing soccer with their friends, go play golf, but they need their me time. They need their me time. They need to have time for their hobbies and their interests and develop some sense of independence, which can cause a healthy marriage. Listen, ladies, I'm telling you, you know how you feel when you ask your husband to say, babe, can I go here? And he say no. Lord have mercy, right? Why you want to go there? Why you want to go shopping again? Why you want to go to the spa again? Why you need to go buy another wig? Why you need to get your hair retwisted? Didn't you just get your hair twisted last month? We don't like that. But however, we do it and we think that it's okay, but it's not. Don't try to control your husband, right? Don't allow them to feel restricted as if his freedom is being taken away from him. No. Listen. If he said, babe, I'm going to be right back. Now we know our right back, if we're leaving the house, right? If we're leaving the house, we say, we'll be right back. Right back is meaning you're going to the car and coming right back, not getting in the car, driving somewhere, right? I have to laugh because some of the things that we do and they should be okay with it. When they do it, we're not okay with it, right? So if he said, babe, I'm gonna be right back, just like your right back is maybe 2-3 hours, so is theirs. So is theirs. Their right back is 2-3 hours. Just like I'm just gonna run to the store right quick. I don't know any woman that can run to the store right quick. If there is one, teach me how to so I can know how to run to the store. Listen, because even if I'm going BJ's to go shop, and I'm like I'm gonna go in and out. Next thing you know, I'm strolling down each and every aisle looking. So listen, allow them his time. Don't let him feel like his freedom is being snatched away from him, right? You don't want him to feel restricted, right? This type of behavior, a controlling behavior, always tend to push the man away. This isn't healthy for a marriage. It's not healthy for a marriage. Now, I know some of you ladies, you may be the boss at work, and so you're in charge of people, right? You're the boss. You're the boss. Maybe whether you're a supervisor or whether you're a manager, whether you're a CEO. I'm gonna bring it to the church to be more spiritual. Whether you're a pastor, a bishop, or an apostle of a church, and your husband may not be that high rank in ministry with you, when you get home, your wife. You're not boss, you're not CEO. When you get home, you are a wife. You're not in charge. Just because you're in charge outside of the home does not give you the authority or the right or the place to be in charge once you hit your front door. Once you pull up in your garage, that CEO hat comes off. That apostle hat comes off. That supervisor hat comes off, and the wife hat gets put on. You're a wife who submits to her husband. I think I'm gonna have Evangelist Nikki do submission on here within the next couple of weeks because we need to know our place and so that our husband don't feel controlled. I'm telling you, don't control your husband. Don't do it. They don't like it. And I know some men is going, whoop, 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 whoop. That's right. That's right, right? And guess what? You not controlling him and him not wanting you to control him, that's setting a healthy boundary for him. He's setting a boundary. He's establishing a boundary. And so it's important to make it clear. It's important to make it clear. Now, when you ever I hear some men say, "You're not my mom. You're treating me like I'm a little boy." Stop it. Stop it. What he's actually saying to you is, you're trying to control me. I'm a grown man. Don't try to control this grown man. You cannot do it. We can't control no grown person. Can you control yourself? Lord help me. Lord, wives, don't stone me yet. Don't stone me yet. Greater is coming for us, right? Don't stone me. So I just wanna let us know that controlling your spouse, even in the bedroom, that's a big no-no. Unless he gives you permission. Unless he said, all right, babe. Unless you plan something, you say, babe, I got you tonight. But every time, no, 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 no. What you do is you shut him down. And then he's not stimulated, then you're complaining now because he don't last long. Because he's not stimulated, because you have deflated, you have emasculated him. So don't control him there. Listen, even if you're the boss at work, when you come home, let him be the head of his house. And especially in the bedroom, don't rule there. Don't do it. I don't know too many men who wants to be controlled in that area. And then you wonder why the passion is not there, the intimacy is not there. Or he takes you, you're at the destination before the journey begins because you are in control. Evangelist Nikki is laughing. I don't know. I know she's laughing with me because I know so many women evangelists that control their spouse down to that. Ladies, we have to stop. We complain and we say it's the devil when we are the devils in our homes. And I know the men is going, yes, Sister Becca, yes, Sister Becca, yes. Let me tell you something. They don't want to be controlled. They don't. Evangelist, you want to chime in?
Absolutely agree, because that's, as we mentioned in previous, I think week one, part one or part two, where men need us to trust them to lead. And like you said earlier, if we're controlling everything that's come up as we don't trust them to lead, to be the head of the household and to do what they're supposed to do as a protector and a provider. So we need to be able to give them free reign to lead and trust their lead instead of criticizing them and try to, like you said, belittling them, support them, encourage them, because you don't know the mindset where they're coming from, especially in the bedroom, like you said. That's a good one right there. That's a good one right there. Let him take charge, because then you're building his confidence. And while you're doing that, you're affirming him that you trust him to lead. Because that's when the affirmation comes in, when you said you have full access, right? To reign, to lead, to be the head, instead of looking down on him. So, yes, ladies, we have to give them that authority because we choose them as the head. So once we choose them as a head, we have to trust them. And while we're trusting them, we are affirming them, encouraging them to take the lead. So definitely, that's a great one there. That's a great call out right there. Because I didn't realize when I did some research that so many men feel that way, that they've been emasculated in the bedroom. And I was like, wow. You have men complaining that they're not getting action in the bedroom, and that is getting the action in the bedroom is like, I'm getting emasculated. I don't get to lead. I don't. So it is a thin line for men. It's a very sensitive area for them. They want your support to encourage them. Yeah.
They do.
And
They do.
That's normally come down to women that is not confident. And our husband want their wives to be confident, because if you're not confident, how are you going to support them? You're going to belittle him, you're going to demean him, because it's going to come from a place of bitterness, a place of resentment. So husbands want their wives to be confident, to trust them, to lead their family. After all, God placed the men as the head of the household. So we have to trust them to lead, and they want that confidence from us when we affirm them and cheer them on. That we got this. We are on the same team. They don't want to feel like we are on two opposing teams. We're not in the workplace competing, for a contract or, competing for a promotion or anything like that. And sometimes we bring on that same mentality home. Like we're competing against each other. And that's a recipe for division. Yes, so we have to understand we're on the same team and we're working together. And our spouse, our husband need us to be confident in ourselves first, so we can be confident in them, to cheer them on, to empower them and encourage them to lead the family, which is their rightful place. Their role in the home is to be the head of the household, to lead and instruct the family with confidence. But we have to be there to support them as well. One of the scripture that I usually like, is 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I want you to understand that the head of every man is Christ. The head of a wife is her husband, and the head of Christ is God. Right? So it is not something where we turn up because we have an earthly title. Like you said, I'm pastor at church, or I have a title at church, or I have a title in the corporate America, or, you own your own company, you're your own entrepreneur, and you want to come on with that same, it's not so. That hat has to turn off. It doesn't say because you have an earthly title, it changes your role as spouse to lead your husband. It's not so. It's not biblical, and it's not a recipe for healthy marriage. So know your role in your relationship with your spouse. So we're not emasculating them and driving them to shut down where we're saying they don't talk. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's wrong. Because if they try to explain it to you, you're gonna demeanor them. So be careful, wives, be careful.
That's so true. Thank you, Evangelist Nikki. A lot of times we feel as though we should have the upper hand. And that comes from how we see the women in our family do it. So we think that that's the way we ought to do it. Well, I saw grandma rule grandpa. I saw my mom rule my dad. You didn't marry your dad or grandpa, right? So your husband is not. No, they're not grandpa, and they're not. Let's start to allowing our men to be our head, like Evangelist Nikki said. And when we do that, right? I think I taught a session. It was a while ago about giving up control to gain control. When you give up that control, you will gain it. Trust and believe me, ladies. When you relinquish that controlling role, your spouse your spouse will be a bigger blessing to you than he already is. Your husband is, right? So remember, it's not your job or your partner's job to make you it's not your responsibility to make your spouse happy or him making you happy. So don't say, "Oh, I'm trying to control him so I can be happy." No, you're gonna be frustrated and
miserable. It's insecurity.
That's the sign of insecurity when you try to control somebody. It shows it's some kind of insecurity on your part. All right. So let's make it right, and let's help let's help ourselves as wives be responsible for ourselves, right? Let's be responsible for ourselves. And also, women, this is what another thing that men wants. And I'm going to preface this by saying, and we've spoke about this several times on this platform, men want clear and open communication. I didn't think this was going to be in part of the research, because we speak in riddles. Don't let us want something.
Oh, yeah. We speak in paragraphs and the whole
parables and thinking that they know what we're talking about. Simple. No. Listen. If there's one thing the men don't want in a relationship, in a marriage, is the lack of clear communication. And also, they want to be able to express their emotions, and for you to express your emotions clearly, right? If you hesitate to send a clear message, you can cause confusion in your relationship, and you don't want that, right? Listen, we've said it on here plenty of times. Communication is the backbone to your marriage, to any relationship. Communication is the spine. So if some of the discs are loose or messed up,
misunderstanding, yeah,
right?
The communication.
So we got to keep that door open. That's a must, to keep the doors of communication open and be clear about what you're saying and what you're thinking, and you won't have a lot of misunderstanding, because he would know, babe, I need $200 to go shopping. Because guess what we'll say? Can I have some money to go shopping? Can I have some money? Right? And he gives us, I'm just going to throw a number out there. He gives us $100. And then we're going to say, $100? That can't buy nothing. But you said some money, so that's actually some money. right? Even I just put those, I just use low numbers. But going shopping, you say, give me some, can I get some money? Be specific. Be specific, especially if he's the one monitoring the money and gives out the money. You have your own debit card, but you have a limit. You got to say, okay, babe, I'm gonna spend some money off the card. How much money is some? You still got to be specific, right? And especially if it's not in the budget at that particular time. Because we start off earlier this year, we talk about budget, having budgets to because we have plans and goals, and it costs fun and it costs money, some of the goals. So if we're on a budget, some money, what do you need the money for? Be specific so you don't get thrown under the bus, right? Go ahead, Evangelist Nikki.
Absolutely. And like I said, we speak in code. And when we speak, we already have the answer in our head. So even when we're given the answer, we don't like the answer, we start a whole different argument. You might not like the answer, but if you ask us, then you have to respect the answer that you get and let your spouse know that you honor his response. Because after a while, like you said, if we keep asking and we not honoring their response or the answer that we're receiving from them, they're going to be like, why you keep asking me? You already know the answer anyway. And then you're going to feel more frustrated. Right. So we might not like the answer a lot of time we get from our spouse, but we have to listen to the answer that they're giving us and, take it with a grain of salt. Don't be so defensive because you don't like the answer.
Right.
And so, yes, so definitely that's a great one right there. And one of the things that we don't do much is affirming our spouse. They need our affirmation. They need to know, that we appreciate them. They need to hear the word, they need to hear, I love you. I need to hear I love you. And yes, it's normally the woman wanted to hear that we thought or we assume because woman was created to love and man respect is their biggest desires. But men do need to hear our affirmation. They need to hear their spouse affirming them, encouraging them, speaking life into them, supporting them, approving of the man they are and the man that they are becoming as the head of the family. They need to know that. When you're affirming your husband, he feels like he can scale, climb Mount Everest. He can take on the world like Superman. Because we as wives, we have a lot of influence on our spouse when we're treating. Think about when you do the negative thing and what you get. You know what I mean? So if you continue to treat your spouse with positive affirmation, encouraging them, supporting them, standing by their decision, whether you like it or not, stand by the decision that they make because you're trusting them as adults. And listen, he know why he made that decision. He thought it through. It might not make sense to you, but it makes sense to him. So support him, encourage him, because nobody knows it all. Don't try to beat him down and disagree with every decision that he makes. You belittle him and you start emasculating him. And then he starts shutting down and we complain that they don't talk. He don't listen. Men talk. Let me something. Men talk. My husband can watch a soccer game. Let me tell you something. My husband can sit and watch a soccer game. He become the coach. He become the player. He become the referee. He become the goalkeeper. And you listen, when I hear it, just amazes me. When I say men don't talk, they talk. Things that excitement, things that they like to do, they do talk. It's just a lot of time we're talking stuff that really don't interest them. So they'll give you a one sentence or one answer or one word right there. We think like they don't care, but because it don't matter to them. So we have to present it in a way where they can see the benefit in the conversation so we can get more out of them. We can scream at the TV and yell at the TV, be a cheerleader when his team is playing. Let me tell you something. They do talk. It's just that we're not listening because we already have the answer built up in our head. And that does not make our husband want to connect to us. You want it to be that safe space, like where everything that's happening in his world, you're the first person he want to share it with. You're the first person he want to call and tell you that good news. If he have a bad news or a bad day at work, you're the first person he want to share that with because you're going to empower him. You're going to bring back life into him. You're going to, affirm him and let him know it's okay, baby. Tomorrow is another day. They need to hear that. And like I said, one of the biggest things, when I was doing this survey and even talking to other men, they're complaining that wives don't really tell their husband that they love them.
They don't. Some women
We
don't.
want to hear it, right? But we don't tell them that we love them because we're saying men don't need to know that because my action, my attitude shows. But everybody don't speak the same language. For me, what do you tell me? I don't tell me. It don't matter to me. Your action is what matters. Because for me, I need you to show me. You could tell me from sun up to sundown you love me. You don't show me. It doesn't. Your word to me is not as relevant as your action. But some men, they need to hear. Just like some women, they need to hear that they're beautiful. They need to hear that they appreciate. It is the same thing for men. For some men, they need to hear. But you have to study your person and know the person you're with and know their love language. Know how they feel love. If affirmation is their thing, you believe it. They need to hear I love you. They need to hear I appreciate you. They need to hear you making a difference. They need to hear that, since God chose you for me and we're together, my life has improved. You know what I mean? They need to know that they play a part and they make a difference in your life. You're happier. Because like Evangelist, like you alluded to earlier, we don't get married to be happy. We come with our own happy so we can be happier by encouraging each other, supporting each other, loving each other. Be your husband's biggest champion, biggest cheerleader. Like I said, if you want your husband to open up and talk to you, listen, affirm him, compliment him, cheer him on, tell him you're proud of him, tell him you appreciate him, tell him if he asks you again, you're going to say yes over and over again. Listen. They need to know that we have to speak life into our spouse. We have to speak into them and validate them because the minute you don't, they go to the office. Oh, you look nice in that suit today, right? Oh, my wife, look at me and see what I'm wearing. Oh, the cologne smells so good on you. You have to complete because we are mortal beings and we can't say they should know better. They're human. You have to be the first person to compliment your spouse. I don't believe that you and your spouse should be in the same house and they live in the house and you don't know what they're wearing.
That's true.
You should know what your spouse is wearing, what they dress like, what they look like. You know what I mean? Because what if something happened? And they said, describe the last time you saw your spouse. You can't tell what color clothes they leave the house.
That's
because
true.
When you're doing that, you're supposed to greet each other. When you're leaving, you're supposed to hug each other, speak live. Don't let the last thing on your lips when you're leaving the house or seeing your spouse is negative. Because there's no guarantee you're going to see them again. So you must treat every moment, every interaction as if it's your last. We have to love our spouse as if it's the last day we are going to see them because it might be. And you don't want to live in regret because it's a cancer that eats you from the inside out. Affirm your husband. Don't wait on him to say, oh, babe, did you see I got a new shoes or I got a new jacket or something, a new coat today. You should have already seen that and compliment him. It means a lot to them because they want us to be their biggest cheerleader because that's what we're called to do. We're called as the neck to turn the head to cheer them on.
That is true.
We have to push them in. We have to validate them and let them know they're doing a good job. If they mess up, it's okay. Don't beat them down with that mistake. Talk about it, find a solution, and move forward. Don't keep going back with the same mistake over and over. And if you forgive your spouse, don't keep bringing up the wrong. Encourage them, support them, because they need to know that we're on their side. And like you said, the competition thing, I'm seeing it so often, Evangelist, because people have the same mindset that they're competing with their colleague. They come home feeling they're competing with their spouse. And that is a recipe for division. We got to stop it. We have to cheer our spouse and we have to affirm them and we have to support them. Yep. In every life endeavor they choose, we have to be their biggest cheerleaders. You want them to give you the sun, the moon, the star, you have to cheer them on. You have to support them.
We do.
But that's one of the things that I hear, like I said, it was a big thing when I hear it, that, we don't really say, I mean, I love you.
But you know what, Evangelist Nikki, this ties in with the other thing that the husband needs from their wife. A man wants a sense of physical connection. They want that, just like how we want it. Listen, this is what the research says. For a man, physical intimacy and touch are significant to him in his way of feeling connected to us. Okay. So they want that sense of physical connection, just like how we want it. Listen, and we've been on this for 3 weeks, right? And we're wrapping up with this tonight. The same exact thing you want from your spouse is that what you have to give your husband.
Give it.
Wives, Whatever you want from your husband, that's what you have to give them. You want attention, you have to give him attention. You want
Yes.
respect, you have to give him respect. But women, we don't want respect, we want love. So we give our love, show our love. We want them to affirm us. We have to also affirm them. So the same exact thing that we want from them, that's what they want from us as well. All right. We don't want them controlling us. So please, wives,
No.
don't control them. Don't talk. You don't want him belittling you and disrespecting you. So don't you do it. Let us be the change that we
Yes.
want to see. We want to be treated well. Let's begin to treat our spouse well. Don't say, oh, he's the man and he's supposed to know. You're the wife
Right.
and you're supposed to know,
Show
right?
him.
So we need to show them. Some of them some of them don't know, right? And I've said this before, that when we were growing up as kids, when we were little girls, we were playing house. We were being
Yes.
trained how to be wise. You know what the men were doing? They were playing marbles, playing football, playing cowboys and Indians,
Still is.
playing games. And they still, some of them still doing that, right? They weren't learning how to make bed and wash dishes and take care of babies. No, we were doing that. Listen, when I was growing up in Jamaica, I didn't have a Barbie. Barbie wasn't in existence then. I had the mop head with the
You're
to the head
bad.
of the mop. That's my little baby girl. Or we get some straws and we're plaiting, get a bottle, and you make shift with the little strings that you see. So we were trained how to take care of a home and how to take care of a husband and what to do, right?
Yes.
But they were playing marbles and soccer and cricket and football, and they were playing what, dodgeball, or they were playing cowboys and Indians. They wasn't trying to learning how to be no husbands. So this is all new to them once they get married. So ladies, let us start be the change that we want to be in our relationship. Things men want from things men need from their wives. They need just as much as what we need. All right? Listen, we came on late today. We stayed a little bit extra because, we came on late. Normally we're here at 7 p.m., but we were having some technical difficulties and we got it sorted out. And so I just want to encourage us. Listen, women, let us start loving and affirming and connecting to our own husbands. All right? Our own husbands. Let us
Yes.
shower them with affection, with love. Tell your husband you love him. Listen, the last time you said you love him was on the wedding day. I don't know how many years ago was that. Listen, every time I talk to my husband, if I talk to him 10 times for the day, I'm telling him, babe, I love you. I love you. And he'll say it back. Sometimes he say it first and I don't respond. He's like, excuse me? I didn't hear you. What'd you say? So listen, just like how I want to hear it, he wants to hear it as well. All right. Listen, God bless
Yes.
you all. Thank you for joining us. Those of you that are on YouTube, if you're not yet a subscriber of Marcia Baker Ministries on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Please also turn on your notification bell so when we go live, you will know. Also, those of you on Facebook, please run on over to Prayer for Marriages and like our Facebook page. Also, please do us another huge favor. Share this session out. Share this broadcast out. Somebody need to know what their husband want. All right. And you can help us by doing that. All right. So we thank God for you. God bless you. God keep you until we meet again on next Monday. Have a happy 4th of July. Tomorrow is 4th of July. Please be safe. Your husband is going to be on the grill all day. The men love the grill, right? That's their spot on 4th of July. So don't take that away from them, all right? So enjoy and have a happy and safe 4th of July. God bless you. God keep you is our prayer. Enjoy the rest of